So Shelly was walking by and I asked her to sample my sandwich and she did. And she had a couple of questions for me. First of all, what'd you say?
It's a bit chewy.
You're gonna help me come cook next time, okay?
I would love to help you cook next time.
Please. Like we can make another recipe that is one of your recipes, and you can teach me how to do it. How about that?
Well, yeah, I would love to teach you how to make Cajun rice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, I'm Catenya McHenry, and welcome to the Mom Who Can't Cook show. I'm the mom of 3 who can't cook. I'm getting better. I'm trying to get better anyway. So, you know, each episode we make a different recipe. Recently, we made a fantastic recipe from Hello Fresh. It was called Sriracha pork chops, and it turned out really, really great. I was really surprised. I think the glaze on the pork chop made the entire difference of the recipe. So I used the glaze on the pork chop and also the snap peas. So what I love about this recipe from HelloFresh is a 2-in-1. So it's a dinner and a lunch. So the dinner was, of course, the pork chops, the basmati rice, and the snap peas, and then they included ingredients that you can take the same ingredients and transition it from dinner to lunch. So today we're going to do the lunch, which is just a great pork chop sandwich on a baguette. So I'm so excited about this. So I want you to see a little bit of the other episode of how it all came together. Let's take a look. If it tastes good, great. If not, sorry folks. We'll just skip that part because I don't have pepper. We'll cut that out, right? I'm pretty good at burning things. So if you want something char grilled, you might want to come to my house for dinner and bring your own dinner. Stir in another 1 to 2 tablespoons of what? Of the sauce? What? I don't remember them telling me to do that. Do you smell something burning? I peeked into the oven. Nothing's burning except the glaze. This looks really good. So, you know, I love fashion. I love food and fashion together. So I thought I'd show you, in addition to showing you a different way to make a meal, a different way to wear the same pieces of clothing in a different way. So the last episode, I wore this little top. This episode, I threw a couple of other pieces in. So you can wear the same outfit, just accessorize in a different way. And I call it restyling. So we're restyling the outfit, we're restyling the food. I threw in a vest, added a necklace, and then throw on a little brooch that ties in the necklace. See, it's easy. Now no one knows it's the same outfit and no one knows this is the same meal that you just prepared the day before. All right, so let's make the lunch. Now, the HelloFresh came with a couple of baguettes. So, and we already made the pork chop. We put that in the refrigerator. And if you remember from the previous episode, they had me shave the carrots and then put that aside. And I was confused as to why I was doing the carrots and it wasn't actually for the dinner. Well, they were helping me think ahead. So thank you, HelloFresh. So we've already shaved the carrots. It came with cilantro. Our cilantro looked a little sad. He looks like he's had a long journey. So you might want to get some fresh cilantro. They just looked a little flimsy, but we're going to use these because we're just going to pull the leaves off. And then we had sour cream and then a little leftover Sriracha chili sauce. And this is great because you don't need a lot and it's already pre-measured, which I love. So we're just going to use a little bit of this. So let's go ahead and pour this in with the sour cream. And then, so it's basically like making a mayonnaise from what it describes in the picture. And it's actually coming out the same color as the picture, which, oh, thank God for pictures. If there weren't pictures, this would not go as well as it could go. I'm a visual person, so pictures help me quite a bit. It makes me know that I'm doing it right. The color of the sauce is the same in the picture. Yes, so we got that step at least taken care of. So it told me to split the baguettes, which I'm going to do in a second, and then I've got to slice the pork. And so I'm doing things a little out of order, but I'm not so concerned about that this time because it doesn't really matter. We're just assembling a sandwich. I like to put a little bit of saccharies. You saw from the last episode, I love Tony saccharies on anything. And I mainly use this because my mom used it in the kitchen. And I didn't spend a lot of time in the kitchen, but I at least saw that she was using Tony saccharies. And that's my dad calling. It's funny, I'm talking about my mom right now and my dad calls. Hey, Dad. Hey, how you doing? So I took the phone call from my dad. I'm glad I did because I needed to talk to him. You know, he's a good cook too, but he's good at cooking breakfast. We loved his breakfasts. And we also loved going to the grocery store with him when my mom was out of town because he would let us get any cereal we wanted. It was great. All right, so let's put this lunch together. So we just have to slice the baguette, which is easy, and split it open. This makes a great lunch. And if you're running late in the morning, this seems like it's easy to put together. And school lunch is not that great. I think everybody knows this. In public school, school lunch is not that great. My son will text me some of the stuff that's on the menu. I'm like, oh my God, please don't eat that. I don't even know what it is. He doesn't even know what it is. So this is great to send to school with your children if they'll eat these kinds of meals. My oldest one is 16, so he likes, you know, he's kind of grown out of the hot dog stage, so I think he'll eat this. And then there was a time when my children just didn't want me to make them sandwiches anymore. I was like, what is that about? What do you mean no sandwiches? What am I supposed to make you? Because that's what I know is sandwiches. So anyway, maybe this will be a good lunchtime meal for your kids too. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil. It doesn't call for this, and it might make the consistency a little more liquidy, but I like the flavor of olive oil and it's good for you. So I'm just going to add that to the sauce. We'll see how it tastes. Like I said, they didn't tell me to do that, but I like to be a little bit creative. All right, so let's put this together. So it says just place the pork chop in there along with the carrots. Oh, I think I was supposed to, see, I went out of order again. I was supposed to dress the bread first. See, I moved too fast and then I missed a step. That's my fault. All right, so just go out of order, dress the bread at some point. I think you can do it at any step in the assembly of the sandwich. I don't like my bread to be dry, so I will put a little bit extra in there. Just use all of it. It's looking good. And then cilantro, and then that's it. Just peel the cilantro off, some of the leaves, and garnish it, decorate it. Oh, that looks pretty. I love the colors. There you go. Isn't that gorgeous? All right, let's see how this tastes. You know, and this will be good with chips or a cup of fruit or even some of that basmati rice. No. That sauce is really good. That sauce is good. You guys, this is so good. This is great lunch. And it can even be a good dinner too. Just the other half of the sandwich. That's so good. Well, that was so easy. So Shelly was walking by and I asked her to sample my sandwich and she did. And she had a couple of questions for me. First of all, what'd you say?
It's a bit chewy, but it's all right.
Right. So the meat was a little chewy. Okay, so what could I have done differently to make it less chewy?
To marinate it. And I suggested to use Worcestershire sauce with a touch of lemon and some water and oil in a little Ziploc bag. Let it sit for a couple of hours and then you can sear it. When you sear it, you don't cook it completely, but it'll give that juicy taste as if you did fully cook it.
Okay, and it'll be less chewy and less dry?
Yeah, less dry.
She was very emphatic about that. Yes, less dry.
Yes.
So is that with all meats or just pork chops?
Well, since you're doing it with sauce, with your sriracha sauce,
yes,
you want to give your meat that taste along with your sauce, and when you chew it, it won't be so chewy. But I wouldn't recommend that on all of your meats,
Right.
but just this style of sandwich.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there was also a suggestion about it's sort of like a Chipotle sort of mayonnaise. You what'd you say?
It was a sriracha sauce.
Sriracha sauce.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
It's
I probably
Chipotle.
yes. Yeah, probably could have used some salt and pepper. That's what you asked.
Yeah, some salt and pepper. Yeah.
You're gonna help me come cook next time, okay?
I would love to help you cook
Yes,
next time.
please. Like we can make another recipe that is one of your recipes, and you can teach me how to do it. How about
Yes. Well, yeah, I would love to teach you how to make
What?
Cajun rice.
that? Ooh.
Yes.
So is that like is it like a jambalaya? Does it have a lot of other ingredients besides the rice?
No, it's not a jambalaya. What
Okay.
it has ground meat, it has liver, it has parsley or
I don't know about liver.
chicken liver.
Okay.
It's cut up real fine. You can't even tell. And then
Okay.
it has pan sausage, and you'll fry all of those up, and then
Okay.
you saute your vegetables, your parsley or bell pepper, your onions, and then boil your rice on the side.
Yes.
Have your little special seasoning, like the Tony Chachere's, which will really work well with that.
Okay.
And then I have one special ingredient that I like to use. I don't tell anybody.
Oh, it's a secret ingredient.
Yes.
Okay.
And you blend all that together, and you get your dirty rice or your Cajun rice.
Oh, that sounds good. So these are all things like these little tips that you just told me about. These are all things you learn just by cooking, right?
by
That you
cooking.
you can't include that in a recipe card.
No.
Okay. All right. I learned something new today. Yay! Thank you, Shelly.
My
Because
pleasure.
next time I'm gonna make this again. So I'm gonna take your tips next time.
All
And
right.
we'll see how it turns out
Woo-hoo.
next time.
Okay.
So it was good, but just a little chewy. And see, I don't know what things are supposed to feel like. I don't know the texture. I don't know what it's supposed to taste like. All I have is a picture. So Shelly walking by was a huge help today. So yes, my meat was a little chewy, but I'll fix it for next time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shelly.
You're welcome.
I appreciate
Have a great day.
Thank you so much for watching today, everybody. Be sure to follow us on all our social media. Thank God this didn't require any turning on the oven or the stove. It was just assembling a sandwich. So thank you, Hello Fresh, for making these transitional meals. It makes things a lot easier for people like me. There was no way I could mess this up. I did miss a step. That's okay. You can go back and fix it. No one will ever know. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. You guys, so it turns out that my meal wasn't as good as I thought that it was. I thought because it was close to the picture and I didn't burn anything that it was edible. It's edible, but it could have been better. So Shelly, as you saw, just happened to walk by and she tried the sandwich and she asked me how I cooked the meat. And so I told her I seared it. She gave me some great tips. So those are things that I don't know that you learn just from experience. And I don't have the experience. And it's not something that's actually printed on the recipe card. Little tips on how to make the meat less chewy, less tough. So thank God that Shelly walked by. So yes, my sandwich was a little chewy and the previous meal was a little tough, but that's the thing, like I don't know what the pork is supposed to feel like or taste like. I think if it's not pink on the inside and if it's done all the way, then it's okay. But turns out it wasn't as okay as I thought. So, of course, you're not watching one of those perfect cooking shows. You're watching The Mom Who Can't Cook. So I'm learning as I go. All right, so that's my wrap up of the Sriracha pork dinner / turned into lunch, turned into not so good, turned into I know what to do next time and I know what not to do next time. So I'm gonna try this recipe again. So make sure you stay tuned for that on another episode. For now, thank you so much for watching The Mom Who Can't Cook show. We'll see you next time. Hopefully I won't burn down the kitchen and my meat will be less chewy.